I wanted to make a short-ish video just talking about my time in Norway and what it was like living in Norway. Now, my my time in Norway was short but sweet. It was 5 months, nearly 6 months, and this was last year in from January to May of last year, and it was I say it was a life altering moment. It is a part of my life, and it's nice that I have the of course I had the memories. That's all I have of left of it. I mean I have some Norwegian things. I would wish I'd taken more pictures, definitely. But as I'd already been to Norway many times in that part of Western Norway, many times, I already had the pictures of these places, and I think, yeah, I mean, before last year, I've been going ever since I was a child because I've got a family there, but which is an advantage that I have, of course, because I could just stay with my family. And say if you're from abroad and you don't have family there, it's much more difficult. And I feel like they do try and make it slightly difficult for you to go there, even if just to study or to work. Which I mean, I was kind of looking for a job, but I mean, I didn't think I would be able to, which is why I had to leave. I don't know if they would have kicked me out because I think I was allowed to stay until August. But I don't know what would have happened if I had actually stayed till August and I didn't have a job. I don't know whether they would have kicked me out because I mean I told them I was living with family, I was studying Norwegian and everything. But I think it is difficult if you don't speak fluently. Now I'm not fluent. I'm beginner. I only have A1. A1, yeah. I'm probably A2 level, maybe a bit better than that. I don't know. I'm not that great at creating sentences or whatever. But no. More importantly, I thought I would talk about um what it's like there, what it's like living in another country, and of course my experience is going to be different from someone else's in a different part of Norway. Or I mean, the fact that I was living with family and I'd been there many times, of course, alters the fact. If I'd never been there, it would have been so much different. But I mean, it was still slightly different, even though it's a town I'd been to many times, and I only really stayed there. I didn't go. I did. I was planning on going potentially to Oslo or Bergen, but it was very difficult. It would take a long time to get there, basically. So it was like, I mean, I could fly there, but then I was like, by the time I was deciding to do that, I was thinking I was going home anyway. And I would be going traveling throughout Europe or wherever. So I wasn't as bothered about going traveling in Norway. Hence, it was so expensive. Although, and just the weather and everything, you never know in Norway. If you go somewhere, it's amazing if it's beautiful weather. Uh, if you're there in the winter, it can be a little bit depressing. But if you're from a neighboring country like me, it's more or less the same in winter. In the south of Norway, it was very similar to Britain, to any northern European country. Like it wasn't freezing cold. Like it wasn't like freaking Greenland or wherever where it's like freaking ice glaciers everywhere or whatever. It was just like a normal place. It was minus. Wasn't even that cold really. But just I mean yeah, as I say, even for me, someone who'd been many years for 20 odd years. I've been going, and I was there the summer before that in 2016, the summer, uh, and then I guess I went back in the winter of 2017. So then I was there the summer before, even before that, and I was there for a couple of weeks then, which was nice. I was only there for a week, I know I was only there for 6 days, I think, in the summer of 2016. So, but yeah, and then I was there the summer of 2015, and that was nice for a few weeks. And I got to go up to a cabin uh, in Hardanger Fjord, which was very nice. And I was a bit disappointed when I went to stay there. Of course, my family didn't have loads of time to be off and take me places or whatever. I did get to go on some walks, but I didn't. I mean, if I was there into the summer, I probably would have had more time. I would have been more willing. I probably would have went by myself even if I could to go to like the mountains or wherever. But I didn't get that much opportunity, and that's one of the things. If you go to Norway, you're not always going to be in the mountains. I mean, people do go to the mountains a lot, skiing, whatever. Especially at Easter now. Now they'll be out skiing. They go to the hita, the huta, the cabin, whatever. They go skiing. That's a traditional thing. Pretty much any holiday they have, they usually get a lot of time off, and they go for Påska, Easter. They go to the mountains and ski. A lot of people do, and they do that in. I mean, they don't do skiing in the summer. Obviously, they go to the mountains. They go to the cabin, and if they have a cabin, or if I mean, they don't even have to have a cabin. They you can just rent one. But yeah, it's beside the point. But you're not always going to be there. But if you have family or friends who invite you to go to a cabin, definitely go. It's a lot of fun out in nature. Part of what made me interested in Norway so much is the beautiful nature. I mean, it's up there with one of the most beautiful countries. I think the only problem is the downside to that. With if you want to live there or stay there for a long period of time, you need a lot of money. Or if you're lucky enough to have family or friends to stay with them, which obviously helps a lot. Um, Even if you just visit, because hotels and everything get expensive, and food is very expensive. Um, of course, I didn't have to buy all my food. I did buy some though. And people don't really eat out a lot in Norway. Which is, I mean, at home here, people don't eat out like every week or whatever. And maybe in some other countries, I mean, I think in wherever it is, in like Spain or wherever, people probably eat out. I think it's a much more, it's not every day, I don't think they go, or if they do, or they might even just go out for a beer or coffee in the morning or whatever. So I think, yeah, they have a much more going out to eat and drink or whatever, socialize. It's part of socializing, eating, like drinking with your friends. Whereas Norway, eating a meal is such an expensive thing. I'm not saying they don't do that, but you're not going to go out for a big meal or whatever very often. With it being double, triple, whatever, however much for. And imagine if you have a big party of people, it's going to be so much more expensive. And if you add drinks, alcohol on top of that, it's super expensive. That's the one thing about Norway. Alcohol is, they're very strict about alcohol. You can't buy it after a certain time in the supermarkets. They only sell cider and beer. So if you want anything stronger than that, you have to go to the wine monopoly, the Wien monopoly, or whatever they call it. I just know it's wine monopoly. But I did go there a couple of times just to look. I did want to buy akavit uh, when I was there, but I never actually got around to buying akavit. Uh, just it seemed kind of pointless. I mean, that wasn't that expensive, but I mean, if you want a can of something, it costs you. And one weird thing, I mean, they don't do this in every country, but in right here, you buy cans, you get like a 4 pack or a 6 pack or whatever, and it's cheaper. But there they just send the individual cans really, and then you don't get them cheaper if you buy more of them, you know. But so it doesn't encourage you to buy more, which makes sense if their whole point is to restrict. and limit the alcohol you drink. They're doing a very good job of that because I mean, people. I'm not saying people don't drink, but they certainly have to alter their moods, and that's partially why they have more of a house, like drinking inside. I guess it their house or their friend's house or whatever culture. I mean, I didn't really, as I said, I didn't drink that much. To be honest, I sometimes don't even drink that much when I'm at home, so it doesn't make that much difference. It was nice though whenever I got a chance to do that, even if it was just like a little bit. And yeah, so I can't really say a lot about going out there. I never went to any nightclubs or anything. I went to some bars, and there's plenty of bars there, and people are in them. And I guess they do buy drinks or whatever. And they also seem to sell lots of like small bottles or small cans of things. I mean, not lots of them, but you can get pints and stuff. And I mean, it isn't really, really ridiculously expensive. You go to a bar, it's gonna be sometimes close to £10, €10 for just a normal pint of something. I mean, not literally £10, €10, whatever. 100 krona would be ridiculously expensive, but it's probably closer to 80, 70, 70, 80 is not a uncommon amount of krona. So £7, £8, €7, €8. I don't know, whatever. You know, it's expensive if you come from somewhere else. If you come from any normal country, you that's just ridiculously expensive. I don't know why I'm just talking about how expensive things are. That's the main downside to Norway. Um, things being so expensive. But if you work there, you do get paid more, so it makes sense. But then you're kind of paying for it. But some other things are cheaper. The buses, very good. They're much better than in this country. Um, they run more often. They don't stop at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. The buses go on until like 1 or 2 a.m. I think mainly on Saturdays or weekends, which is good. Because you don't have to pay for a taxi because taxis are ridiculously expensive. So, but at least they've got the infrastructure there for you to get home. It's probably different if you're not in a city, but obviously there's not going to be a bus to the middle of absolutely nowhere. But then where are you getting the bus back from then? If you're if you but the cities do seem to be fairly well run on that way, and it seems to be subsidized, so it's not really expensive. It was cheaper than the buses in Britain. I'm pretty sure. No, it was definitely because you would pay for a month or whatever. I think if you paid individually, actually no, because I got away with it sometimes saying I was a student, so I'd get half price, which was probably cheaper. But then after that, I ended up just getting month tickets, and I would just go. It was nice just to go on bus rides to just for no reason, just to go into the city. I would literally go in, buy like a McFlurry, and then just like leave, have a wander around, and then just leave. Just because I had free bus rides. Technically, it didn't cost me any more to get somewhere. Whereas if here, I don't have that. It's not as good. But I mean, it was nice just having the the social interaction of the Norwegian classes, because I mean, you would have people from all over the world in these classes, and to be honest, if I had known before, I wouldn't have paid for a very expensive class at a university. I mean, those classes were slightly better because I did learn more there, kind of, but for the uh, for the quantity of lessons, the fact that I was only there once or twice a week, I think, and what was it, 2 hours or something? So 4 hour. I couldn't have only been four. It might have been 2.5 hours each thing. I mean, but in the town there was free. I mean, they weren't free. I think you paid 50 krona, £5, €5, whatever, almost for a membership of this club at the library, and you could go to as many lessons as you wanted. And I mean, that was more that was slightly more advanced than the other classes I was doing, but it was good. They still understood quite a lot of it, and but I would definitely recommend going there if you just even a visit. Um, and if you want to live there, I think it's pretty difficult. But you can study there and you can get jobs at universities there. I mean, most of the people I met were working in universities, whatever, but they seem to have fairly limited what you can study or what you could teach or research or whatever at these universities. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, it was a very good experience being in Norway. Um, I definitely want to go back. Definitely, maybe not to live, but I would like to go for a couple of weeks, maybe a month in the summer. Maybe not, maybe not this summer. Maybe another summer. But yeah, it's very nice in the summer, especially because the days are so long. You have like it's light until like past midnight, which is just such a nice thing. I mean, obviously you get the other way in the winter, but being in the summer is just like another world. It's so nice having it late then, because you can go out and you can go for walks at like midnight, and it's just it's really nice. It's dead pretty and it's dead quiet. It's a very peaceful place, and it's very special to me. But yeah, I would definitely recommend going there, although it could be difficult for you if you want to live there. I know people can get jobs there, but I think it is fairly difficult. And maybe I'll try and live there for a long time, permanently at some point in the future. You never know. But currently, I have my heart set on living somewhere cheaper, warmer, like South America or Asia or somewhere, and hopefully I'll get to, and I'll be able to make a video about that. Much more exciting one. This is just low energy ramblings, but yeah, hopefully you get something from this. If you want to know more about Norway or anything, I can tell you. Yeah, hopefully I get to go back. Hopefully, if you want to go, if other people want to go there, then yes. Right, peace out.